Now turn up.
If you want the DeAndre Swift signed jersey, all you have to do is be a subscriber and you get a chance for it for free. Free. All right, we're going to go 41 through 50. This is basically the part 2, the one that I promised in the last video, but I did not do it. So we're going to do 41 through 50. Elijah Moore, we're starting right off the bat. Wide receiver 18, super young, 21, has brilliant upside. Will Zach Wilson pan out? He's already injury prone in the first year. But Elijah Moore reminds me of a mini Antonio Brown, and I've said that many of times, but Elijah Moore could easily, you could go through the second-year breakouts, he could turn into this Deontay Johnson, where all of a sudden he becomes a super reliable, short ADOT, average depth of target, and you could see him just being a PPR monster. And so that's where I have Elijah Moore. We're going to do this one a little bit faster. So number 42 is Amari Cooper. He is in that prime age of 27. So we're talking about, well, does he stay with Dallas? Is he stay with, of course, Dak? Well, if he stays with Dallas, he will stay with Dak. Or does he get cut? Does he get moved? These are all big, important decisions that we don't know. But Amari Cooper is the guy that you're going to get. He's going to have the ups and downs, and he's going to be a top 20 wide receiver every single year. That's what he does. He's a performer when it comes to it. He came off the gates super hot. I got so excited there. He came off the gates super hot, and he's a guy that you can rely on. When I mean rely on, you can rely on him getting over 1,000 yards, over that 7-8 touchdowns. He's going to be a wide receiver 2 minimum. He's going to have games where he's going to blow up. He's going to have games where he disappears a little bit. But Dalton Schultz came into play a little bit through there as well. And they ran a bunch with Zeke and Pollard. Yeah, Zeke and Pollard. I almost said Tony Pollard, but Tony Pollard as well. So Zeke and Tony Pollard were used a ton in that offense. So that's kind of where Amari Cooper is. He was higher last year, but now he's kind of into this position where he's a wide receiver 19, which I think he will be that. I think he'll be a wide receiver 2 the next 4 years probably. I think he's that talented of a wide receiver. Number 43, number 45, and this is, what do you like? Do you like youth? Do you like the unicorn of Travis Kelce? Because it is TJ Hawkinson versus Travis Kelce. And if you said, hey, you have to decide in a vacuum who you want, it's going to be TJ Hawkinson slightly, because of the 8-year age gap difference. Travis Kelce, 32. Man, the guy just keeps going. And Travis Kelce is somebody in Dynasty too. Next year, he could fall off the absolute map and do nothing. He also could be a really relevant tight end for the next 3-4 years. He could be 36 and be like, all right, I'm kind of done. I feel like I've done as much as I possibly can. I've won another Super Bowl with Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm done. I'm at 35, 36 years old. So he could have another 4 years of relevance if he stays healthy. And you saw him in that overtime game where he basically did a little cut and all of a sudden he was gone. I was like, whoa, Travis Kelce. The slow juker, the slow cutter. And he is such a smart, intellectual player. And when you have those type of players, they always are open. They always find a spot in the gaps, in the zones. Even at the end of that Buffalo championship game, he's like, hey, the seam is open. And of course, they threw it to the seam. And he is that ultimate safety valve. But TJ Hawkinson, just for that youth and for the chance that TJ Hawkinson could jump into that sphere of hopefully being Mark Andrews. That's what we want from TJ Hawkinson. If he does jump into that sphere of being a top 3 tight end, or top even 4 tight end consistently over the next 7 years, 6 years, you have to take that chance with TJ Hawkinson, in my opinion. Number 45, and I'm surprised he's one of those, what do you do with him? Elijah Mitchell, running back 18. I have him behind David Montgomery and Antonio Gibson, which hurts me. But at this point, there's a lot of variables with San Francisco. And I'm not even going to go through it a ton because I will you can just go to the video that I did last week on Elijah Mitchell and why he's one of the most difficult players to gauge that I believe. And he could be somebody that could be amazing, but he could have somebody that could have some downside as well. But anyways, Josh Jacobs, 46. He's right behind him. And in fact, they're right around the same age, which is interesting. I always find that Josh Jacobs was just super young. And then you have Najee Harris, who's super old, and we forget that they're right around the same age. So Josh Jacobs, running back 19. And, oh, man, my voice just started, man. I'm going to grab some coffee. Coffee break. I think that sounds better. All right. Where was I at? Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs. He is going to be your low-end RB1, like between RB like 10 and 9 and 12. That's just going to feel ugly. It's not going to feel great. He's probably going to have a game where he has 3 touchdowns. It's going to skew some of this a little bit. But he's an low-end RB1 the last couple of years. It's like, where else do you put him? RB19. I'm surprised. Again, some of these rankings are going to change. We'll see what happens with some of these teams and free agency and where some of these players go, because that could alter some of these things. But right now, I think Josh Jacobs, he has Kenyon Drake that will come back from injury, which I think is going to be annoying and it's going to be frustrating. And the whole team could be switched and changed with the new head coach and everything. So we'll see, and we'll keep in touch with where I have him keep, if he stays there, if he goes higher, a little bit lower. But RB19, 46. Number 47, Deontay Johnson. So Deontay Johnson, the reason why he's this low, it's as simple. It's Big Ben. Big Ben is gone, and you may say, oh, no, Big Ben is gone. That means they're going to be better. No, right now they believe in Mason Rudolph, which is ridiculous. I can't see Mike Tomlin starting the season with Mason Rudolph as a starting quarterback. In fact, I think they should get like a Mitchell Trubisky, just for the fact that I think that Tomlin could do some, hopefully, magic with him, and I think that would be a potential good fit. And so when we look at Deontay Johnson, he's this low right now because he doesn't have a quarterback. He doesn't have a quarterback, and that's going to be the biggest concern. You have Claypool. Does Juju stay? I said absolutely not 12 months ago, and he signed a 1-year deal. So I'm going to say absolutely. I'm going to double down. I'm going to double down and say no. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna sign with I almost said the Chiefs. He's not gonna sign. He may sign with the Chiefs. He's not gonna sign with the Steelers. But you still have Claypool. You still have Pat Freiermuth. Like, you still have Najee in the backfield. Lots of mouths to feed. Not a lot of food to feed it right now. So that's why he's there. 48. It is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Am I just still too high on CEH? I don't know where to put him. I love Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I loved him when he was in the 2020 draft class. I loved him as that like RB4, RB5 that was going to move up and potentially be a really good mid-first round pick. He went to the Chiefs, and I feel like I fell in love, and then my heart got broken. Somebody just said a couple videos ago that who is your Dogecoin? And they said CEH, and a little tear shed. I was like, hey, that makes sense. I think that he had all the hype, and he was at 70 cents, and then down to 15 cents, and now we sit here and go, do we wait until he goes to zero? At this point, if you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and you've held Dogecoin all the way till it's 17 cents or whatever, 15 cents, maybe 13 cents by the time you're watching this video, you almost just have to hold until it goes to zero or until he goes up to 70 cents. And you're either going to go back to boom or back to bust. And I'm holding in almost every situation because I want to see him go to zero. I want to see him burn. I want to see that value burn, or I want to see it burn bright. And there's one of two ways. And so I'm just going to hope for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And it's mostly hope that I has him here at 48. But that's about it. 49, Kyler Murray. He's my QB4. My biggest concern with Kyler Murray is his back. He's the second half disappearing act. He points per game basis. That first half of the year has been amazing in the last couple of years. It has been not great the back half of the last 2 years. So where do we have Kyler Murray? He's been hurt too. He's a constant running quarterback that seems to have these bad throws. And Cliff Kingsbury is on the hot seat. I believe he's already saying that he's not happy with Arizona, now taking all the stuff on from social media and stuff. So Kyler Murray is my 49th overall player. But, I mean, I think QB4 is a really good spot for him. I think lots of people had him as QB 1 and 2 last year. And I even said flat out that, hey, Josh Allen is my QB 2. Kyler Murray was my QB 3, and now he goes down to QB 4. Herbert takes over that spot. Which is a little bit surprising. Not a little bit surprising. I mean, it makes sense, but like it just shows how far Herbert's gone. Number 50, Number 50. I don't know why I don't have number 50 on here. Well, that's a problem. I don't have number 50 on here. Well, that is a problem. It just goes to 49. I thought I did number 50. It goes from 49 to 51. Well, this makes it... I'm just going to wing it, and I'm going to just go with it's going to be Mike Evans. Because I don't see Mike Evans at 51 or 52 or 53. So we're going to go with Mike Evans. Mike Evans, again, you talk about every single year. No Tom Brady. This is going to make it interesting. It's why Mike Evans is so low. But Mike Evans has shown that he is a man that will refuse to not get 1,000 yards every single year of his career. And he's done that, which is a record. And he's a guy that is a touchdown. He's a high touchdown guy. What happens when he gets a quarterback that doesn't throw as many touchdowns? What does Tampa Bay do? Do they keep going with Kyle Trask? Does Godwin stay? What do they do with Leonard Fournette? What do they do with Ronald Jones? What do they do with Keyshawn Vaughn? Like, there's a lot of different moving parts. And so that's why, Mike Evans, you are my number 50. And number 51 through on, if you want that, guess what? You're just going to have to wait and go on Patreon. Hey, anything helps. If you support $1, I'll be super happy per month. All right? All you do, $1. But, hey, we do have some different tiers as well. Potentially, if you want to be a contributor to part of this channel and give like some input on what we say next, or if you have some specific questions or specific trade questions that you want in-depth analysis on, gotta be on Patreon. All right. This is Marcus, Nice with Dads. Peace out. Take care.